My father used to say, "Watch this man."
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
Disney insider WDW Pro recently speculated on.
Time and time again, he's broken big entertainment news live on the air.
I've been following WDW Pro and his track record for years. If you want to find out what's on the horizon for theme parks, Pro is where you go.
Let's check in on Rian Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay.
I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray? Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Now, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah. I hate it.
It's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George, I didn't think it would go like this.
Fly, you fools.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird. Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you. Always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. Hi ho, and welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright everyone, put on your coffee glasses.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
We're gonna do it!
Alright, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man!
Are you okay?
They'll never take of freedom!
From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies in the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show! Hello, folks, and what in the world? A little too close up. Let's pull it back. Hello, folks. Welcome to a Wednesday evening. Yes, we are live streaming quite a bit today. We've already done the Disney earnings call with Valiant Renegade this morning. He did a live stream then this evening earlier, and now here we are. Want to thank everybody who's joining us, as well as our floral from under a rock party raiders. And Vash, I think we ought to give these folks out there an exclusive, even before we start with a show that is packed full of hot and spicy info we never thought we were going to do tonight until, well, the floodgates opened. Vash, are you ready to give them an exclusive? Can we do it?
Absolutely. I think we can.
All right, folks. Vash has been hesitant, reticent to ever say this, but Vash is actually not his real name. It's short for his true name, Vashua. Vashua, welcome to the show as the producer in charge. Jonas not here tonight. He is too busy stuffing his face with sushi, is what I heard. And I hope it's sushi. I hope he didn't go to a sushi place and get the noodles. Don't do the noodles, folks. You got the chance to eat expensive sushi, eat the expensive sushi, darn it. Vash, are you ready for tonight? You ready?
I believe I am. Thank you so much. And the origins of my name, that's something I didn't even know. So that's really interesting. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, the noodles, no good. By the way, aren't there supposed to be noodles in Monsters, Inc. land, I believe? The noodle shop there? You heard from Pro, don't do the noodles.
There's that's going to run into a budget problem. Yeah, they can't afford noodles. All right, Bachelor. Well, I think we should get started. And the way we get started is we bring on a panel, and it is it's going to be a full panel tonight, folks, because we have big stories coming up. Vash, bring them on.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and start bringing people on. The one, the only. You have heard his name. You know the face. You love the person. It is Kevin Apollo. Hello there, Kevin.
Vashua, how you doing, my brother?
Thank you. This is going to be a thing now, isn't it? This is great. Thank you so much, bro. Very much appreciate this. And you know this person's name. For one thing, this person, well, he's got a name that you can hear the reverberation. It is Nolan Thunder.
What's up, my homie Vashua? What's up?
This is what we're doing. This is a thing right now.
I need to look up and see if Vashua is any kind of anatomical term, though, because every time I say it, I worry. I'm like, are we saying something we shouldn't say when we say Vashua? I don't know.
Perhaps it was shortened for a reason. But speaking of short names, well, we do have one with a short name, but he has a big presence on this panel, as he does every single appearance that he makes on any of these streams. It is the one, the only, Lauren Connor. Hello there, Lauren.
Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to. Just stop it.
Now, Lornicus, you listen here. How are you?
It makes my skin crawl every time I hear you say it. Stop it.
Oh, all right, we won't say it. We'll switch over to what Lou says. Vosh. Vosh, keep them coming, sir.
Absolutely. Well, all the way over from a little channel you might know, with some different Muppets going on right there. It is the one, the only, Mrs. Flu. Hello there, Mrs. Flu.
Hi, everyone.
Guess what, folks? This is Mrs. Flu. It's her first appearance. Now, I'm not wrong about that, right, Mrs. Flu? This is your first appearance on the Pro Channel.
Absolutely is, and thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited because I've been told that every stream you appear on, it goes viral.
Oh, well, I do have that effect on people.
Well, good deal. All right, and I also understand you understand some things about money, which is going to come in quite handy for some of the topics today. And Vash, perhaps we would hold off on our next panelist. We'll wait and see because I see an empty camera screen, and we'll get to it. Oh, wait. Yep, I'm getting the note. Do not start with that panelist. All right, Vash, please bring the super chats on the screen, and then we're going to get started with some big news today.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get started with that. Give me a second. We have backing Protons with the $5. Thank you so much. Off to see the Pro Unhog. Okay. Didn't we just do this yesterday? I believe the Groundhog Day is what we're referring to there.
That's right. Well,
so much
get on your booties. It's cold outside. It's cold every day outside. All right. And packing Protons, there's no better way to start a show than with this one. Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? Who you gonna call? All right. And thank you for the reference to the Brown Dog.
Absolutely. Brown Dog. I like that. Master of Puppets, member for 6 months. Don't be weird. Like, share, sub, click the bell. Oh, yes. Don't be weird. Weird is a bad place to be. You better hit that bell notification right there if you subscribe to this channel.
We might have a weird emoji, but folks, we are not weird.
Weird.
She'll never live that down. I'll just be with her forever. There.
Vash.
Yes. Jake Miguel with the $5 Pro. Where do you get your festive intro music? Sometimes it's just so fun and all bippity boppity that I must know.
Well, Jake, we actually get our music made with a team from Nashville, Tennessee, and it's all generated right here on the channel. We used to do free licensed music and stuff, and we just decided at some point it was best if we did our own. And of course, you can also enjoy even more music over on Vacation Radio. Folks, we've always got the link in the video description that gives you the access to the playlist. Help us get it monetized. We're looking very forward to launching the Rock Station coming soon.
Alrighty. And do we want to bring on the panelists? I believe they're ready, or do we want
to? It's catatonic. Let's not do that. Go to the next.
Okay.
What do we got next?
No problem. We have Green Hat with $10. Came here from Overlord DVD, and they brought up a good point. Disney tears down and replaces old attractions instead of building new ones after they lost Rady Creek.
Sounds like they can't even build their haunted house shops. So I wouldn't be building much more than that right now.
They could set up a lemonade stand. Lawrence,
they weren't prepared for water. And actually in California right now, I can understand why they were not prepared for water. The whole state seems to have an issue one way or another with water.
Yes. Those California rains, though, they do come in the springtime there, and there are some downpours that do happen. I am surprised. We have, I think, an old school Imagineer coming out and saying, if you can't get this right, you might want to replace the team. And it's like, whoa, crazy.
By the way, big shout out to Overlord DVD and Doomcock for sending folks this way. Very happy to get those of you who are coming from the center of the earth.
God dang it, from the bottom of our hearts here on the WDW Pro Channel. Thank you.
All right. Vash, do we have any more super chats, or should we fetch a guest?
Oh no! Well, we got 3 more. We can go ahead and honor our guests, honor our subscribers quickly. Flying Blend rockets out with $2 with a super sticker, and I can't see that because I don't have the YouTube chat open. But thank you so much for the super sticker. I'll go ahead and get that on my other screen right now. Cam Barnes with the $5. I hope to hear y'all's thoughts of Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. I personally loved it, and especially the mysterious new dinosaur. That's a interesting talking point there.
Yeah, well, we'll try and get that in, and folks, be always wary of mutant dino DNA.
Ooh, yes, indeed.
I question, because I saw this trailer. I only just watched it an hour or so ago, and wasn't very dino-looking dinosaur.
Sometimes you got to xenomorph it up a little bit.
Just saying,
Yeah, it's a mashup of multiple things, which is very, very interesting.
Most decidedly so. I think you're crossing universes, not just crossing DNA.
That's a good idea. Let's do that.
This is where we're going. Tina Beeb, I believe, member for 14 months, using my monthly member chat. Hello, everyone. And hello to you and Flying Blood on a Rocket Cycle. It was a little fox with a thumbs up. I believe that covers everything there, Pro. If you want to go ahead and bring on our next panelist.
And we want to say a big thank you to Tina as we get ready to bring on our panelists. Folks, we're going to get to news that I promise you is majorly spicy. About 400 of you watching right now on YouTube, 600 total across YouTube and X. And share this out. We're about to cover some stuff that is going to be big, and it's going to make headlines for the next few days. In fact, one of these stories we're going to cover tonight, I dare say there's a chance that it takes off and is in the major, what would we call, the legacy dinosaur media. We'll have to cover what we're covering tonight exclusively from that park place. It's a big one. It is very big. Who knows? Maybe Elon Musk will tweet it out at some point. But before we get there, folks, I'm feeling a wee bit trollish.
Who could that be? Let's go see, boys and girls.
Go fund yourself, Bob.
Well.
I got here just in time to say that Vashua, he has a waist size of 38, and he's only 5'9".
We locked you out.
Huh?
Maybe the password.
We locked you out.
Yeah, remember?
We always try, but it really never works.
We had Doge actually spend 3 hours to find a way to keep you out of the system. How did you get in here?
The key was under the mat.
What the key to what? The Doge Mobile? What are you talking about? He in here?
Jonas just leaves things around. You know that, right? He's not very secretive. He's not very he thinks he's like a PI and stuff for that park place, but really, he's just
a P.
Yeah.
I think he's implying he's in your attic, Pro.
That wouldn't surprise me, actually. And I thought it was squirrels, but heavier, so it makes sense to me.
There you go. It wasn't Ricky the Raccoon, that's for sure.
Was not Ricky Raccoon. And Wilton, you have not been on the show in a while. Can you tell us what you've been up to lately?
It's been a lot.
He's so busy.
Yep. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of stuff, I can tell. Really busy.
There was that thing.
Really busy.
There was this.
Yep.
Then played some video games.
Did you burp your Tupperware? Shine your lava lamps?
Yeah. I make sure to get the extra farty Tupperware. It's the best Tupperware. The larger the fart, the better it sucks the air out of the food. So
you somehow made that more uncomfortable than I thought possible. Congratulations.
Well, I aim to please.
Wilton, I hate to do this to you, but I'm about to have to make you cry.
That'd be kind of difficult.
Wilton, we're about to cover serious news, and as much as I love you, Wilton, and I do with 1% of my heart, it's a big heart, and that 1% is extra small, but I love you with all 1% of it. Wilton, I'm going to have to get rid of you for the person who may be under you. Would you like to look and see what's going down below you? There's someone. Yep. That freaks you out, doesn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, that guy.
That explains the proctology exam. All right. Okay.
All right, folks.
Bye, guys. Okay.
Things are going down the crapper. It's not good for investors. It's not just one bad decision. You're getting a call from Trian. Dang it, Bob! Your spending's been illegal. Your leadership is fatal. We expect more leaks and rumors. Makes no sense hiring. Disney is so unstable. What's the profitability timetable? It's time to fire Iger. This is just another Budweiser. Dang it, Bob!
All right, folks, it's time to get started with our very first story. And as we said, the spice shall flow. Coming to you from KMO News, it says GOP senator sounds alarm over USAID payments to Politico. Please tell me this is a joke. Please tell me this is a joke. It's by Ray Lewis from the National News Desk. We're going to start reading this. I want to give you the quick heads up, though, folks. Here's what's going on. There's a giant department
in the U.S. government called USAID. All right.
Oh.
And USAID, the Agency for International Development, has been sending out tons and tons and tons of money. We're talking about billions and billions and billions of dollars. And now what we're finding out is perhaps USAID under the Biden administration, at least, maybe it goes back way further, they may have been keeping the legacy dinosaur media alive. And they may have been self-serving themselves pretty well. We'll read it. It gets extremely messy. And the Trump administration might be actually cutting the knees out from underneath the legacy media by ending the payments. These amounts are insane. They're crazy. And we're finding out, when you wonder, how do these companies stay alive? Nobody's reading them. Nobody's watching them. Like, how do they do it? Oh, well, your tax dollars apparently were making sure that they had big newsrooms that were vibrant and just as radical as ever. Senator Mike Lee out of Utah, he's a Republican, reacted to a post on social media platform X Wednesday about Politico receiving payments from the U.S. Agency for International Development. Podcast host Benny Johnson wrote Politico was massively funded by USAID and that no workers of the news outlet received pay Tuesday. USAID is currently under scrutiny by the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, over its spending, and all direct hire workers of the agency will be placed on administrative leave Friday. Please tell me this is a joke, Lee replied to Johnson. Please, someone? Johnson also said in his post, this is the biggest scandal in news media history. And what are they talking about? Well, the suggestion that Politico was being paid millions and millions of dollars by the U.S. government in order to keep it alive and maybe to keep it in line with what the U.S. government under the Biden administration wanted legacy media to say. Take a look at this. It's from Liz Churchill. Press Secretary Levitt calls out Politico to their face. Here it is, folks. Full volume up and truth coming to you.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOGE team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
Can you imagine being the Politico reporter and finding out that millions of dollars are no longer going to your company from the government, which probably pays for your salary? Can you imagine hearing that, sitting right there in front of her? Well, the legacy media is handling this well. From CNN Business, White House says it will cancel $8 million in Politico subscriptions after a false right-wing conspiracy theory spreads. Well, Liam Riley of CNN, how the heck are they canceling it if it's false? Can someone explain it to me. If it's false, how did it get canceled? Like, I started to make an analogy that's not going to be apropos given recent news events, so I won't go there. But if you tell me the cat isn't real, but also feed the cat, like, I don't know what to do with that. And that's what I've got right here. $8 million in Politico subscriptions canceled, but it's all a conspiracy.
So that's a misleading headline that they just had there, because and the reason why it's misleading is because we found out that it's like $44,000 went from USAID to Politico. It was the rest of the money came from other departments in the government, and so that's why it's a conspiracy theory that it all came from USAID.
It's almost as if you've read this article. You beat me to the punch there.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, Steve. Yes. Places like the DOJ, places like the Fish and Wildlife, everybody was paying in the government for vast numbers of these ultra premier Politico subscriptions that are tens of thousands of dollars. And it's not just USAID. That's how they're trying to hang the false news on it, the conspiracy. The reality is, yes, the government did pay, and it's over the past 4 years, it's something like 30 million plus. to Politico.
Oh,
But
really?
that's not all. Vash, give us the other entities that received a huge amount of money propping them up.
Oh, absolutely. To add a little bit to the Politico point before we talk about some of the other entities, I just want to go ahead and put this on the screen right here. This is what Elon shared with the That's Odd. You can see right there. That's the amount of money that they're getting for what, 37 subscribers for the federal government employees. That's a little strange. You know, the DNC actually just voted on their chair recently, and look at that. What's that back there? So this gets I think really complicated really fast. But Politico wasn't the only one. In fact, the funding of some offshore news sites was the topic as well. Here from the BBC, where our money comes from. You can see right there, USAID. Well, they provide a big chunk. In fact, I believe the largest chunk, second largest chunk actually, on this pie chart right here, delivering what, 261, I don't know if this is in thousands or millions, but you can see right there, it provides a lot of European cash for this news organization right there. Not even local news organization. We also have been hearing a number of reports that media from all over the country has actually been provided these funds, which is very interesting. A lot of nonprofit organizations and so forth, nonprofit organizations. This is really kind of a house of cards that is crumbling very, very quickly. And Politico actually recently couldn't even make payroll, from what I understand, because those funds had been withheld, let's say, by Elon and the Doge team.
So we've also heard that the New York Times apparently had vast subscriptions being purchased by the U.S. federal government. Lauren, I want to go to you first on this one, and here's what people are saying, and you just tell me what you think about it, Lauren. We're hearing that there is great fear in the legacy media that once you take away this money, that the legacy media might actually financially collapse. Like you could see Politico go down, you could see the New York Times suffer greatly. I know it's the NPR might not make it. PBS might be having a bad case of TDS. Lauren, do you think that the legacy media might hasten its demise because of this, or do you think they'll be just fine?
Well, I think it could certainly hasten the demise, but there's a couple of points that I would make about that. The first is that part of the problem is that once you get used to having the spigot shooting money at you, you start spending that money, you get used to being able to spend that money. So even if you are a legitimate news organization, if you're taking this money and it goes away, it can absolutely destroy you. Now, I think if you're a legitimate news organization, you shouldn't be taking that money. That's the thing. Even if you were reporting the news straight, it's going to cause the appearance of a conflict, and that's something that you're always supposed to avoid as a journalist. The other thing that I would say about it is that if you're not able to survive as a news organization without this influx of cash, then good. You should be able to stand up under your own reporting. If you can't do that without being propped up, then you deserve to die. And if you die, those people that do have journalistic credentials, they can go and start their own organizations. They can secure funding through their own reputations for whatever they're worth at this point, and maybe restart the media, hopefully in a more balanced way. The market will sort that out. If they actually have if they have credibility with their audience, somebody will support them. But the smart money says you probably ought to join the new media and start running your own things, because you can do it very cheaply on YouTube, Rumble, X, any one of those platforms. Anybody can now broadcast and report. And if you're credible, you'll find your audience.
The problem, though, Lauren, is that they're not credible. They are not relatable. And they don't want to engage with an audience because they believe that they are superior to them, because they've been sitting on the teat of government for so long. They don't remember what it's like to work in the private sector. It's like Dan Aykroyd in Ghostbusters. I don't know if anybody remembers that line, but it's one of my favorite of all time in any movie anywhere. Now, here's the deal, though, folks. As we're looking at what's happening, what's playing out, let's just think about how much money and what value the government was giving to Politico. And this is the beginning. Like this news cycle is moving so quickly. Who knows what we'll find out tomorrow? Okay, here's the deal. $8 million a year. I'm just going to tell you, I think that gets at least 70 journalists in your newsroom just on the government giving you the money. And of course, Politico is Google News certified, and they have all the protections of being part of the intelligentsia of the United States, so they get to say whatever they want to say. Meanwhile, the government is giving them the money to say what they want them to say. You see how this turns into a revolving door. And just as was pointed out, yeah, the Democratic Party apparently was from USAID and other sources of the government giving vast sums to Politico. And then Politico, well, they're giving vast sums right back to the DNC by being the official sponsor of. It's amazing how this works. It's amazing the kickbacks. Kevin, I got a feeling that the legacy media is going to go apoplectic about this. What say you?
Oh, I'm sure there are a lot of very tight sphincters tonight all over the planet, because the jig is up. This was allegedly cleaned up during the muckraker days. We know that the reality that's when the media became woefully unbalanced, because FDR wanted to get rid of his opponents. And the real question that people should be asking is, how long has this been going on, and how much have we actually spent? Because as I like to point out, if you were paying attention back in November 2000, you saw the media choose sides for the first time when we couldn't call the election at 2:00 in the morning, and then in November 2004, they declared open war and have been more brazen every 4 years since. So now we know they're getting paid to do it. They're not just being gunged in of their own free will. They're actually being paid to carry the water. And people should get answers. Who signed the checks and who's been sending them and how long have they been sending them?
I have a suggestion. Kevin, you remember last week when we did the thing with the Coke can?
Yes.
I think you need to contact Elon, and we find that if there are any government ne'er-do-wells on the payroll, that with their government-sponsored health care, you will be performing the proctology exams this year.
Well, as long as it's not narwhals. We don't want him doing proctology exams on narwhals. I don't even know how that's done. By the way, that's not the word that Lauren said, folks. Go look it up. You're going to find he is a very prestigious fellow with a verbose vocabulary. Mrs. Flew, can I show you what has made me laugh today? Because there's been a part of this that really made me chuckle. Are you ready for it?
I am. Go right ahead. Let's see. What is this? Oh, no.
From John Rich. John Rich, the country singer, says, I barely slept last night.
Big and rich.
I just can't stomach the thought of Iraq losing their $20 million in funding from USAID for their own version of Sesame Street. It's just so upsetting to me. I may organize a protest. They need Iraqi Elmo. And of course, John Rich has that image that we won't scroll down to go look at, but it's rather humorous. Now, I got to say,
that's not a cross in his left hand.
That's right. Of all the things I've seen, this is surprisingly the least offensive, because I can actually see some value in kids watching moderated content that teaches them the alphabet and reading and writing, in Iraq. At the same time,
and loving each other
under duress, even.
At the same time, it is $20 million, and I'm not sure it's having much of an effect. Mrs. Flew, could you tell us, please, Mrs. Flew, do you believe there's enough money coming from the U.S. government to actually sustain the legacy media machine, and is it going away now?
Oh, well, there's so many things that I want to say that I'm just going to nip what I don't want to say out loud. But I think there's way too much money that has been going towards things that seriously don't need to be funded any further. And I would not be at all upset if certain media outlets simply dwindled away, and because we take away all of their money. I am perfectly fine with that. There is no reason why we need to be paying or subsidizing things from a taxpayer and a government stance simply because, well, if they were really needed and important and entertaining or lucrative in such a way that the masses kept them alive, they would be alive without government assistance. So I say to yank all the money away and let's let everything fall where it may.
I'm going to say up here in Canada, we don't know anything about state-sponsored media.
You know a lot about tariff wars, though, Steve. You guys are really good at tariff wars.
No, but okay, so which is part of this is funny to me because of the fact of how like on the nose is up here, and how none of our news organizations would survive. Period, because nobody watches them at all. Because if you remember,
they're Pravda, Steve. They're Pravda.
They are.
It's only about controlling the narrative. That's the only thing it was about.
But if you remember, it's so bad up here that if you because there was that whole debacle with Facebook and the other groups that if you were a news site and social media was sharing you needed to pay. Sorry, the social media website would have to pay the news sources, the Canadian news sources, in order to promote or even have their articles shared by individuals. And so like if you're in Canada, you still can't share news or information because the government is subsidizing that much up here. So
hey, Steve, how many big social media platforms have started in Canada?
Oh, great question. What in the last 30 years has started up in Canada other than like sending convoys to your major city? That's honestly like that's the problem. There's absolutely no creativity, and anyone that wants to be creative goes down south. And so we're so locked in. Like Canadians get their media from the Americans because we hate state-sponsored media, which just adds extra irony to what's going on.
Canadians, when they find the Pro Channel, their minds just explode with joy. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because you got representation.
I can't even believe YouTube is allowed in Canada. Hey, Nolan, we haven't got you in though yet. Nolan, I want to go to you and just ask, what do you think about the legacy media having been apparently subsidized and supported by the feds? And it might all be dead. I mean, we called them the dinosaur media, Nolan. Meteor Trump it's landed, and they don't know they're extinct yet.
Yeah, they're definitely about to enter the ice age for the legacy media, because if you just look at the whole broader sphere of it, it just makes sense. Because have you ever met a person in your life, right, left, whatever have you, that genuinely likes the traditional news media? They've completely lost their reputation over the past 20 years of a messenger of truth. They can't get that back anymore at this point. And I don't know about y'all, but I've seen article after article from even outside of CNN. I just see an article and I'm like, how is this thing profitable? Like the TVs are expensive. The whole staff, they're probably paid weekly or by the articles, however much their payroll works. I think it makes sense that they were funded at the end of the day. And the reality is that we can't just keep dumping all this money into something that no one actually likes. I know Mrs. Flew was talking about how we're sending it for like education overseas. And I'm not going to take any sides on the matter, but I do know when I'm on an airplane, they say, before you help the other person, you say if you're falling out of the sky or something, you got to get the oxygen mask and put on your vest, make sure you help yourself first. Right now, the state of our country is we are basically drowning. We're not on a boat to rescue someone, and we need to heal as a country and learn to love each other's neighbors again. And this legacy media has been just an obstacle in trying to see truth and the good humanity that's in a lot of individuals out there. So I'm not happy to see a lot of people lose their jobs, but I am glad to see incompetence go away. So I hope that this is the dawn of a lot more independent outlets, or even if they come to corporations, just focus on the truth again, for crying out loud.
I, for one, am sad. I'm sad because Politico got $8 million a year, and I didn't even get $1 million. USA didn't come to this channel and say, "Hey, bro, you need a
Did
new."
we even get $1?
And we've been hosed, guys. You all
Politico coming in with $1,000 super chat. Let's see it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you all could have been living the life of luxury. We've been robbed. I tell you, robbed. Steve, what were you going to say?
I was going to say
we've been stepping all over Canadians this week, and frankly, it's time for it to end. Go ahead, sir.
Nolan was saying the Ice Age theory. I think that the meteor theory is far more apropos.
Really? I would have thought your Canadian self would have loved the Ice Age theory.
I know, but I was just going for apropos. But imagine if you were.
I'm sorry. Did you want to be like Lauren? Did you hear Lauren drop some French and you were like, oh, it's on. I'll show that savoir-faire right now.
Hey, that's
It's
like
on like Donkey
like
Kong.
the first time I think I've ever had to or thought to use that word appropriately. Anyway, but imagine you were that reporter in the room though, because I feel like just you're sitting in there and there's how many people in that room? I'm gonna guess 40, right? And whatever her name is, she comes out and she says that I've just been told that Politico is getting $8 million or whatever, and that money's stopping today. Imagine being her for that few moments, right? Like, what's going through her mind? Like, does she have like, you know, those like tinglies where like, you know, your whole body, like in your body, where you're just like, oh crap, right? And like the ears are burning, your stomach's churning, you're just like, you start to sweat profusely, but you also know that everybody is like side eyeing you, and like no one's looking at you directly, but you know they're using the peripheral vision 100%, right?
I think you're describing the roller coaster ride known as the descending colon, sir.
What was funny is that she was actually flushed. You could see that she was flushed. And to Kevin's point, I would bet that if any of the reporters had to stand up at that moment, their seats would have come with them.
We've had so many of you join us since we played this in the beginning of the show. Now over 1,000 of you out in the audience across X and YouTube. Let's play it again so you can see what happened when the legacy media found out that the money pipeline was gone.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
So there you go, folks. Trump has aimed the cannon at the biggest, baddest, I guess, pipeline. You know, they don't like pipelines. They're always canceling pipelines. Well, this is a pipeline. He has set his sights on it. Frankly, there's going to be a backlash because this is existential to the far left. Flat out. We'll see how it plays out, but that's the story. And folks, what if we told you that on the other side of these super chats, we've got an exclusive. We did an investigation today, and we know about Disney and USAID. Super chats, here we go.
Absolutely. We have Ken Reinhardt with the $2. Are you saying Disney Plus is my tax dollars at play? Maybe hitting the nose on the head there, bro.
Where do you think they got the plus from?
Yeah, exactly. I do want to clear up one thing about this. There have been some people online saying, oh, those 700,000 subscribers on Disney Plus, that must have been the government dropping. No. Even if that were true, and it's not, the quarter that we're discussing where 700,000 subscribers were dropped has already ended. It was already over. So we're looking now at this next quarter. Disney is saying they're going to lose more subscribers probably. I don't know. Maybe those are government Disney Plus subscriptions. Guys, I kind of jest. And at the same time, I know that within 24 hours, I might have to come back and be like, well, it was true all along. That's the news cycle these days.
I don't know. Those are, when you look at the political stuff and you see what $500,000 going for 37 employees, you just think, that's a remarkable amount of money. I wonder what else is going on like that.
Can you imagine if half the viewership for The Acolyte was government? Save Kathy!
You just made me feel sympathy for government employees.
I'm pretty sure they were all remote workers as well.
But everything you guys are saying though is true. But just you have to realize that makes The Acolyte make sense.
Oh no!
Because it's all government done.
You're right. It was by the government. It was all.
That explains everything.
Destroy our hopes, crush our spirits, smash our souls. Brought to you by the U.S. government.
The thing that it makes the most sense about, given California, is why a stone fortress could catch fire.
Well, that's a good question right there. But I bet you they had water out there in those fire hydrants.
We currently have dozens of Palisade viewers who just looked and said, "Lorne, I loved you until now."
Lauren, we still love you.
Lauren, we have a friend in Maine. Oh, $2. Wilton has secret tunnels to all channels.
God, that's terrible. Keep going. I'm not even going to comment on that. That's terrible.
Sabertooth Raptor with the $5. Didn't know Culture Casino has a Fantastic Four playing Father Time. Oh yes, he was in Fantastic Four playing Father Time. Yeah, that was an interesting little cameo there by Culture. I wonder if he will say, "You shall not pass."
You shall not pass. I think whenever I do that, I think I'm actually doing Deckard Cain from Diablo on accident. It doesn't work out. You shall not pass. Stay a while and listen.
You shall not pass. Okay.
That's cute. That's cute. I think if it was Culture Casino, though, wouldn't you think he would kindly say, "You may pass"?
And just casually move his arm aside.
Yes, you missed it, but that's exactly what I was doing.
Fantastic. Backing Protons with the $5. Can Wilton stop training Iger? He's creating an unstoppable troll, and it's getting out of control. Smiley face.
We can blame everything on Wilton.
Do it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
He actually feeds on that sort of thing.
It's true.
That's true.
He does. Stop feeding the troll.
Don't feed the trolls. Backing Protons with another $5. Thank you. Celestial Park seems to have gotten a little twinkling lights working. Clark, one up on the Epcot crew. Yes, there are in-ground lighting effects at Celestial Park at Epic Universe that, from all accounts, and from what it looks like from the aerial shots that BioReconstruct has collected, they seem to be working. So,
you serious, Clark?
By the way,
can I just say, thank God that the Walt Disney Company was never in charge of Kmart back in the day, because the blue light special would have been an utter disaster because no one would know what was on sale.
That's a good point.
Are you old enough to know what a blue light special is?
Yes.
Wow.
How about that?
Not that young.
Next, I'll tell you about the Sears Roebuck catalog and what he was looking for. Hey,
Nolan also uses Wikipedia, so.
Hey, Vash, little birdie told me that Epic Universe may be getting ready to do some previews with guests very, very early beyond what we would have ever anticipated. So they're on the ball. Good point, Packing Protons. You're on it.
Bingo.
Absolutely. And we're going to be talking all about Epic Universe and what's been coming, what's been being seen and observed up in the air tomorrow on T3PO Live at 4 p.m. Eastern. So definitely check in for that. TL89, a.k.a.
Nolan Thunder's channel tomorrow for the latest updates on the Woolworth retail stores all over the Midwest.
Yeah, and he's going to have a sidekicker Montgomery Ward, too. So
yeah, well played.
Yes. He's going to be diving into
coming soon.
It's going to be diving into abandoned Sears very shortly. TL89, aka Dislikes Buns, with the $5. I'm not sure getting into a power play with someone who holds all the power, money, public support, and momentum is a sound tactic. I wouldn't do it.
You know, Tennille, sometimes the mega corporations and the far left, they just have to play chicken with an iceberg.
Ooh, man. And with another $5 at $2.89, playing chicken on the train tracks.
No, he didn't. I did not know he was going to say this exact same thing that I already said.
I didn't know this either, actually. I should have included this. Playing chicken on the train tracks would at least be more cost effective with roughly the same outcome and odds of success.
That's pretty cool. Me and Tennille, we're on the wavelength, man. We're on the wavelength.
I like that.
Hey, Vash, we're going to have to jump. We're going to come back to Albertus. Albertus, you hang tight. We're going to come back to you. I do want to put this up on the screen real quick. It's just too funny. Chef, Chef comes in there and says, "Well, hello, children." That's why she was named OSHA. That's just too good. Thank you, Chef Eddie. And also, we want to thank Red Tigress. We're going to get the rest of the super chat. Red Tigress gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships, and what a win it is to have Red Tigress in the audience. Red Tigress, I don't believe you've ever seen this.
That is incredible.
That was amazing.
Absolutely majestic.
We
Lauren,
love Red Tigress.
Lauren, I see tears coming down from your eyes. It was the most beautiful tiger with a red wig you've ever seen.
Had a moment.
Yep. Red Tigress,
This is America, everybody.
That's right. Land of the free, home of the tigers with fuchsia wings, walking down an urban sprawl.
Quite the mane.
Yep. All right. Well, after that very touching moment, folks, we've got to get started, and this is the big one. This is the thing we've been talking about. That is, turns out exclusively right here. Disney received up to $6 million from the Biden administration via USAID. Nobody else is reporting this. We did this as a investigation, and well, let's dive straight in, folks. Here we go. From that Park Place, the Walt Disney Company was provided USAID funds by the Biden administration to create Nat Geo content. And here's what it says. A new investigation by That Park Place has revealed that the Walt Disney Company benefited from a relationship with the Biden administration via funds provided by the United States Agency for International Development, also known as USAID. Up to $6 million was tallied for a joint venture between the Walt Disney Company Africa and National Geographic to develop a show that appears to have had scant viewership. For those of you at home, that means not much. Titled Team Sayari. It was created under a partnership involving USAID, the U.S. Department of State, the Walt Disney Company, National Geographic, and Wildlife Direct. The initiative sought to inspire young environmental stewards through an educational children's television series and community outreach programs across Africa. Now, we actually found this, and it's not easy to find, let me tell you, but we found it. We can't play it. They'll hit us with a copyright as quickly as they possibly can. They're good with that.
You play the first 5 seconds.
Nope, not even going to take a chance on this one because they're not going to like that we put this out there. It says, according to publicly available data, the money for the show was approved for the Walt Disney Company in 2021, shortly after Biden took office. The show debuted in 2022. At this time, we can find no source for how much of the $6 million was paid by U.S. taxpayers versus Disney. However, a look at the show's production values makes it difficult to believe those funds were well stewarded. A National Geographic website describes the show as such. Team Sayari is a show about a group of young, budding conservationists who, along with Funzi, an AI computer represented as a large, glowing DNA double helix, are Africa's protectors, working from a fun and high-tech base known as Sayari Base Camp. So it's basically African Planeteers. However, searching for information on the show is a difficult task. Even IMDb seems unsure whether the show has been canceled or is still receiving more episodes. There may have been a second season based on a promo we found, but there's no announcement about whether or not USAID continued to fund any productions that we can find. Of course, the USAID website is only a landing page at the time of publication because of major changes happening under the Trump administration. Scrutiny into USAID and its funding of legacy media companies has increased dramatically as Elon Musk has put particular emphasis on Doge to the task of clean, wasteful, and fraudulent spending, running over all of that fraud with the Doge mobile. We want to thank Ginger Snap for having sent us the first breadcrumbs in defining this, and you can see there's more stuff that we're looking into. This is from usaspending.gov, and we're looking into all of this stuff. There's a lot. Disney owns many, many companies, and that's basically how this article ends, is by explaining that there are tons and tons and tons of Disney companies, and we've got to go through all of them. So we will be doing so, trying to figure out who got money and where. This is the beginning, but we can say for sure now that Disney, not just Politico, Disney got millions for a show that isn't very good. Not many people watched it. And the mouse has government money on his hands. Panel, what do you think about it? Kevin, I guess we start with you and give you the first go at this one. Had you ever heard of this before? This National Geographic show, Team, what is it called? Team
Sayari.
Team Sayari?
It's mission time.
Is that a thing? Does it say that? Why not just reboot Captain Planet?
That was a solid show.
Planet, he's our hero, gonna get government funds. Oh wait, no, I can't run that. All right, go ahead, Kevin. Your thoughts?
Come on. This is just another day at the office for Disney. Waste a bunch of money that you didn't earn on something no one's gonna like or watch, and do it all over again. Because it's what we do.
Difference though being that it's our money this time.
That's true.
That's I
It's
think
our money
the
this
most
time.
egregious thing about this whole thing.
Lather, rinse, repeat. Is that what we're saying? Lather, rinse, repeat, over and over and over.
A couple thoughts. So this has this video that you're sharing, which is from National Geographic Africa.
Hold on a second, Steve. Now I wasn't able to play it for the audience, but I've heard movements over near your screen. Have you been watching it?
Yeah, I did.
All right, tell us how much you're impressed by it.
It did not cost $8 million to make this thing.
It looks like Homestar Runner back from the Flash days, right?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay,
but
it's an upgrade above Homestar.
It looks like a low budget kid show. Like it's like Kratz Creatures, right? But it's like kids, and it's really stock footage, like of cheetahs and all that kind of stuff. So
stock footage is expensive, okay, Steve? Oh,
yep, not $8 million worth. But the other thought that I had is, isn't Disney trying to shut down National Geographic as well?
Well, there's been some talk about that. Yeah. Reducing its footprint.
It's so the government is paying Disney to make content, which has National Geographic Africa, fair enough, Africa, but like 17 likes.
Well, now hold on, Steve. Hold on.
On this video, there's 17 likes. It has 67,000 views.
Hold on a second, Steve. You're telling me
a year ago
17 total.
Yeah.
Share your screen. I don't believe you. Share your screen, Steve.
Sure, I'll do it right now.
Folks, we're going to get to the bottom of this. This is a $6 million production, folks. I can't believe. Now, Steve, don't play it, okay?
I turned off audio.
Don't hit the play button.
I won't hit the play button, but I will.
Go through that.
I will.
Yeah.
So you can guys can kind of see just like the different things that are in this video. I mean, go to thatparkplace.com and watch the link for yourself, obviously.
Hold on a second. Go back to where it says Our Planet. Look, that's a cute kid, by the way. Look at that cute kid. He's got a bird.
I find it.
That reminds me of Brian Fellows from SNL with the bird. Anyway, Our Planet. Look at that. That's at least $1 million. The U.S. government really spent our taxpayer money to Disney well as soon as Biden came into office.
I love how perfectly straight it's lined up as well.
Canva isn't cheap.
Yeah,
it's true, especially the stock Canva.
Brian Fellows,
right? So you're just getting like I mean, obviously they're using some of their own stuff, but then like I've seen sets like this.
That looks like Gullah Gullah Island.
I don't know, elementary school play productions.
Yeah,
just want to say, back in my day, Zaboomafoo did it way better. Like this is nothing. Totally. Get on that level.
But this is my point here. So you have 67,000 views from a year ago. There's 17 likes. That's a problem. And then here's the bot.
You're so negative. Listen,
and here's the bot comment.
Just because the government agents were told to watch this, but were not told to click the like button in the email, you have to make fun of this. It's so rude.
But here's the positive. Okay, the bots are really good. So our kids love this show very much. Watching from Malawi, I love this channel so much.
That's very descriptive. It's specific to the content. Exactly.
Yeah, like it's definitely something that's showing user engagement.
In the voice of Wilton, could you just tell Disney what you really think about this?
This show.
No. Click. Don't you do that. You click the comment. Click in there. Let's go, big boy. You're wading into the USAID.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, what's he going to say? What are you going to put?
Okay. I can't fathom how many lives this has changed.
Oh, I hope this gets picked up. I hope that Elon Musk does this and somebody looks and sees floral under a rock.
Check the spelling of fathom. It's really tiny, but it looks to me like there's an error there.
Yeah, Lauren is using the British spelling, Fathoum. There's always a U after an O for no reason apparent.
By aging eyes.
Hang on a second. Let's magnify, folks, so you can see that we are truly trolling Disney and Nat Geo.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Sorry about that.
That's just so funny.
I had imagined at least 17 lives were changed.
You know, actually, I'm more interested now on the stuff on the right side of your screen, your suggested videos. Ryan Kinnell, and then what is this? Arctic Daughter? What?
I don't know.
What are you watching?
It's some documentary. I don't know.
You know what? We
I
better
like
get
the top video. That looks
Oh
pretty
my
good.
goodness.
This is why I don't log in.
I'm protecting Steve right now.
No, I don't even know what this is. I don't know why this is even recommended. I never honestly.
Sure. That's what
Maybe
the
the kids have been
thinks.
watching.
No, guys. No, okay. Sorry. Yeah, go back to my screen.
Is it one
There
of
is
the
an
26-part television series?
This is an episode.
Uh-huh.
Right? So it actually recommended an episode. So we can actually see the high quality production here.
Oh, that's 6 million right there.
That's so funny.
And it touched 9 people's lives.
Tell us about your family. Right? So they're like,
I am starting to wonder where the $6 million went.
I can tell you where it went. Go
It was
back
for the
to
safaris for all the people that supposedly shot this film.
Go back to the set with the tree.
Shot the film.
oh, that's
There. That's it right there. Go right back to where you were.
It's the same tree. It's the same set. Yeah.
That right there. That is the DNA double helix AI computer.
Yes.
made out of glow in the dark pool noodles.
It's where they got the idea for the newest Jurassic Park. This makes no sense. This makes
Hang on a second. I missed this. Lauren, you're an angel. Lauren, you're an angel because we missed this. That is so terrible looking that I did not realize that is the stupid DNA double helix supercomputer that is literally it looks like those drinking straws you can use in contaminated water. It looks like they strung that on a piece of yarn and called it a supercomputer.
But don't you understand?
Mankind has gone too far.
This is the latest quantum computing technology, people. You don't understand the power behind this tree.
Some kid walked up to us like, man, this is the worst wind chime I've ever seen. It doesn't even make a noise.
It's exactly what it is.
It looks like a wind chime. Yeah.
All right, $6 million USA. Folks, this is exclusive. Welcome to the channel.
For 606 views.
This is crazy.
They got how many views, Steve?
606 views.
600. How many likes?
It's
9.
It's simply fabulous, darling.
Steve, give him a like. Come on.
Okay.
Your text all at work.
No, that's gonna hurt my algorithm. I gotta say no. He's recommended. We got Paul Chato. I got animal.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the defense. He only showed us. We got lucky on this double helix AI supercomputer made out of freshwater drinking straws. The whole reason that he came over here is to show us. Oh no! Here's my real list. Watch him scroll.
I'm curious. What's it gonna?
He's gonna keep going down.
You guys. I mean, normally they'd be like hunting videos. Honestly, that would be the animal videos. So maybe they're like, oh, he's hit his PETA.
I was figuring like Zamboni channels and Kraft macaroni and cheese. You know, puppet videos. How to make a puppet. How to improve your trolls. DIY. All right, guys. This has been so silly. I can't even. And it's silly because.
It's only 606 views.
6 million of your taxpayer dollars. Panel, I can't remember who's weighed in. I don't even know anymore. I've lost track. You all just jump in as you wish to weigh in on this nonsense with the U.S. government giving Disney millions of dollars for a show nobody watched.
This all could have been avoided if the Walt Disney Company just ended all of their earnings calls and all that with, today's program has been made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. I have to say, earlier I was doing some of the Googling, right? And looking for essentially Nat Geo content, USAID. And there was an article from 2021 talking about the National Geographic Kids Africa with the 26-part television series. There was a nice little lead-in that you get when you're, Googling something. And I clicked on it, and it takes you immediately. I had to pull it back up. It takes you to a page that says, "We apologize for the inconvenience. Why am I seeing this page?" And it's no longer available on the U.S. Department of State website.
Oh, that's not surprising.
They have removed the linkage, but it's still in the algorithms to search for.
Yeah, if you go to USAID right now, the department, there's just a landing page that says all of us are gone now.
Uh-huh.
And if you go to the Kamala Harris, by the way, if you go to the Kamala Harris page, it says something like, "This page has been unburdened by what was." I mean, they have a sense of humor. Whatever you think about them, you can hate their guts, but they're funny. Gosh darn it!
Does it say thank you at the bottom of that screen? Or you're welcome?
I got to watch my language right here. I'm getting vulgar. Vashwa, any thoughts?
Yes, I think to echo Lauren's sentiments from the earlier segment, if you cannot stay on your own, you shouldn't be getting taxpayer dollars. That's for sure. And this is bigger than just Disney. We saw taxpayer dollars, a tremendous amount actually, go towards non-profit media outlets like NPR and PBS, and I know the FCC chair is looking into those entities because, well, you had Elmo pitching, experimental procedures to kids. So I think with this money comes a lot of obviously responsibility, but also it comes with influence and power. So this is to hear news like this. Yes, it is definitely amusing. That's no question. But I think there were serious implications with this as well.
Elmo says, "Don't be a prick. Get pricked." From the U.S. government and AID.
All right. That's the story, folks. We're sticking to it. And you heard it exclusively here first. Nobody else reporting this. Fresh, straight out the oven. Disney. Oh, yeah. They got money from USAID. All right, Vash. Doge on over to those super chats and let's see what we've got. And then after that, we're going to lose one of our esteemed panelists. It is far too soon to say goodbye, but super chats, then we'll do what we must.
Absolutely. Albertus Magnus with the 999. Thank you so much. I've been working and paying taxes since I was 16. I'm 68 and still working and paying taxes. Why? So Dems can give my money to Politico. Why doesn't USAID give me $3 million? Democrat politicians need to go to prison. I will say this. When you're talking about outreach programs all over the world and so forth, I think I echo Nolan's sentiments there where it's like, we have hundreds of thousands of unsheltered peoples in LA, San Francisco, and Southern California, and many urban cities across the nation. How in the world are we giving out money to news organizations, corporations that are worth over $200 billion? This doesn't make quite much sense.
No, but I am happy that apparently the Biden administration did give some funds towards really getting down to the bottom of what a woman is.
Here, this is a Tamagotchi. It'll be the best way to date in like 10,000 years. You hatch it and feed it. Don't shake it when it's a baby. And if you neglect it for a week, it'll die. It's fairly realistic. And just remember, that giant clump of blocks that looks like an amorphous blob with wide shoulders and an Adam's apple is actually a woman. People just can't and won't be able to tell the difference anymore.
This turn into woman?
Yep. In the future.
Steve, that caveman's been in one and one only video. What's up with that, dude? What's going on?
Right now, he looks like a reformer. Like from the 1500s.
Okay.
His real name is Geneva.
Well, Protestant puppet he is. All right. Now, wait
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. That was my fault. Bosh.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Cannon Barnes with the $5. I believe it's Cannon. Might have been Cannon as well. Not sure. CBS is 60 minutes.
You said as cool as you can. Full blown Cannon Barnes.
Cannon Barnes. I like that. With the $5, CBS's 60 Minutes has released the full unedited VP Harris interview on YouTube. Yeah, I believe it's like 53 minutes. I haven't gone through it myself, but
it was that close to 60 minutes. They couldn't have gone a little longer. False advertising.
Hey, Cannon, I bet you know what we're going to start the pro show with tomorrow, because it turns out, yeah, they did what they said they didn't do. Yeah, they're in deep doo-doo. And yeah, it's the starting segment for the pro show tomorrow.
Too funny.
Fantastic. Definitely tune into that one. Indeed. We'll go ahead and Butterbrisket 92 with $2. I guess we see why the feds keep printing money.
They do. They need to make more biscuits, though. It's a better idea.
Yeah, interesting.
So they don't have enough money to pay for the ink anymore.
Yeah, and you can't put gravy on a stack of $100 bills. Doesn't go with it.
Does this mean we get the Labor Day telethon back?
Oh, we need
But who would they get to do it?
Kamala Harris. She's doing nothing else.
Well, no. The point of it is to try to make money.
She'd just keep getting drunker and drunker throughout the telethon.
Oh no, that's Nancy.
You
got power. You got power.
You want to give the money? Like I just picture her kind of being like, what's his name in the Muppets when they're doing the telethon? And he's like, you want to give the money?
Let's talk about how you can plug in a car. And I love school buses.
Amazing.
Joy. Give the joy.
Taylor J. Screwjob, member for 21 months. Reverse game, Fox, DW. How would left react?
Reverse game, Fox, Daily Wire. I'm assuming. How would left react?
Yeah, if USAID was giving funds to them, how would the left
I
react?
see.
Oh, they would lose their stuffing.
Well, yeah, they'd be nuts. But you know what? The cool thing is, here on this channel, I don't know about every channel, but I can tell on this channel, we'd be like, nope, shouldn't be happening, because the government can't pick a side. Bad things happen when you do.
Very true.
So set that tactic to the side.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's very true.
Cristiano Machado with $5. As a Canadian living in Florida, it is definitely very different. Smiley face. Was so happy to find the pro show last year. Appreciate the honest coverage.
Cristiano, let me tell you, I was walking by the pool at Animal Kingdom Lodge a couple of weeks ago, and it was really chilly, but there were still some people in the pool. And as I walked by, I told Lorena Creole and Ron from Follow the Bradley's Fun, I said, hey, look, Canadians, because no Floridian gets in the water if it's anywhere close to under 80.
Ooh, man. You know, those pools at Animal Kingdom Lodge, they are very warm in the summer.
35 degrees Fahrenheit, and Steve's like, it's a balmy day out here. Time to put on the shorts.
Okay, no, it's actually funny because it's like -4 Celsius, which I don't know what that translates into. But like today, all of the kids were getting off the bus and they're taking off their jackets. They're like, it's so hot out. Like icicles are forming on buildings, and they're like I'm not even kidding. It was the funniest thing ever.
Canadian, they're so happy.
You take back your Canadian units of measurement. We measure things in bald eagles around here on this platform. Albertus Magnus, 44 with the 499. That's right. We go by wingspan. Spending others people's money is fun.
Wahoo!
No, it's not.
Wahoo! Love it, yeah.
Indeed. Red Tigers obviously gifting 10 WDW Pro memberships from earlier. Thank you so much for that one. Go ahead and make sure we shed that one out again. And J Light Lady gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships as well. Thank you so much for that. Sutton Creek Productions, member for 14 months. Nat Geo is my competition. Unfair advantage. Yeah, indeed. That's the thing, right? You're picking sides, as Pro mentioned before.
Sutton Creek, you didn't get $6 million? By the way, Vash, go back though. We had some memberships gifted there, and can you pull those back up again?
Let me see if I can. Oh,
you know what? It's okay. We'll celebrate real quick, folks. That was a wonderful gift of 5 memberships, and we want to make Mexican Iron Man happy wherever he is tonight.
You're the one who's out of this world, sweet baby. You're the one who's out of this world.
That's right. That's right. Mike somewhere is feeling joy. Doesn't know where it came from, but joy indeed. There you go.
There we go.
Thank you, J Light Lady.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Sterling Jones with the $5. Hello, D Plus lost 700,000 subs. Captain Falcon digs the hole even deeper. 2025 looks to be the quote rock bottom for Disney. Thoughts?
Well, we can't give financial advice, but I can tell you that every red light is flashing, and people are always saying, "When's Disney going to suffer? When is it finally going to catch up to them?" And well, I think tomorrow. I think welcome to then, folks, and the mainstream middle is going to get the win. All right, well, this super chat is actually perfect to segue into our next story. Before we do, though, we need to say goodbye to Steve. Steve, we really don't want to say goodbye to you, though. Could you just exit the frame for a moment and bring back our trollish friend? Would that be possible?
Bye.
Yeah. Hit him up. Rawhide. Bring us our troll friend.
I love that. When you said that, that's exactly where my brain went.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
Wilton!
Yeah, me. And I don't even know where I am.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even.
That's okay. Time to climb back in the silo, dear.
It looks really cluttered. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, sorry. What?
Wilton, I'm going to give you this is your moment in the sun before we go to our next segment.
Okay.
Apparently, USAID has been giving out millions of dollars, including to a discount bargain brand Planeteers thing for Disney and Nat Geo. I bet you didn't get any of that money, and I'm just they give it out internationally, so it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in Canada or Algeria; they'll give it to you. So, Wilton, would you like to make your pitch for Floral from Under a Rock to receive millions and millions and millions of dollars of U.S. taxpayer money? Go for it.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we got diversity. We got. Excuse me. Okay, if we're doing it this way. All right. We got geriatric people on our show, and they got colorful hair. You know, we got them. We also have green people. Okay, we got aliens. We got well, you got me, and I say things that well, I could definitely toe the party line. So if I'm willing to do it, almost whatever for a buck.
Well, bad news. Your proposal didn't work. Guess what it went to?
I don't know what.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh! Who is the man who has t-shirt Disney? Arrogant, compromised all morality. If pimples and showers are something you miss, fire a policeman to keep your office.
Well, I was going to say, I think Wilton was the lead publicity and press consultant, right? I think that's
totally
something.
Him and
get you the grant.
Him and Corinne Jean-Pierre, they were tied.
I think he was running for mascot, honestly.
No, Wilton and Corinne are about the same height, so
it's probably true.
Steve, you got to go. Tell people out there about Floral from Under a Rock so they can find you. And I don't know. After all the zaniness of the night, you know, they might need a double dose of Wilton.
Yeah, no, that's true. So Floral from Under a Rock, I'm doing my best for the most part to make sure that we try to stay away from some of the political stuff. So we're just there to have fun and goof off.
You're honest. You're just an honest fella. Not many people would come out there on the Pro Channel with 1,073 people right now in the audience and say, we're trying our best. Sometimes, sort of.
Yeah, no, because I'm a human and I want to comment. But no, so we're trying to just have fun and goof off and be nonsensical. And we play games with the chat. So Lorne can attest to that. He actually did fairly well. Did you guys know Lorne knows a lot about the Super Bowl?
No, I got absolutely slaughtered and only rallied a little bit at the very end because I got lucky.
So anyway, so if you guys are into goofing off and having fun, join us. And Fortnite Friday is tomorrow night, so it's where we also just like hang out with whoever's with us. So if you want to get into the mix and
That'd be 2 days from now, dear.
With guns, no tariff talk included. Anyway, so you know what I mean. Anyway, hang out with us and. Yeah. What'd you say, Mrs. Flew?
You said tomorrow night. That's actually 2 nights from now.
Right.
It's Wednesday, dear.
I've been so busy.
So Friday night. It's Fortnite Friday is on Fridays.
There you go. She's
it is complicated.
Just saying.
She's the PR. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Just saying.
Even I struggle to keep up with the logic of it. Fridays are on Fridays. Steve,
We do nonsensical things, but we do like to name our things appropriately.
Steve, we'll see you real soon.
All
Keep
right,
it
sounds
real.
good.
Somehow,
Love ya.
sort of.
Love you. Bye.
All right. Well, folks, we're to keep on keeping on. We've got the Disney earnings fallout, and then we'll talk about Spider-Man. Yes, we will. And so lots of stuff still left to go, folks. Here we go, straight into it. Want to show you how the legacy media tried to save the Disney earnings call. This is glorious. All right, so this is DNYUZ, and I'm not even going to try to say what that would sound like. So instead, what I'll do is I'll tell you the title to this article.
It's actually pretty easy.
Go for it. What do you get?
It's the news.
The news. All the news that should be free on. I feel like that Muppet that throws the fish when I talk like that. All right. Here's the title. It's from the New York Times. So apparently they just take other people's articles and I guess. Oh, Disney returns to its steamrolling self. So this was what they tried to do with the Disney earnings call. So Disney returns to its steamrolling self. You might even call it a Disney renaissance. After a period of turmoil, culture war spats, whipsawing operating strategies, layoffs, proxy campaigns, yada, 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 Disney has returned to its stable, steamrolling self. Robert A. Iger, the chief executive, on Wednesday announced a 44% increase in per-share quarterly profit compared with a year earlier, as blockbusters like Moana 2 and improved streaming financials offset lower ESPN and theme park results. This is part of the reason that old-line entertainment conglomerates like Disney have different businesses. When one engine encounters difficulties, others can pick up the slack. Everything was glowing. It's ridiculously glowing. It's sappy, slappy, glowing. And yes, if we scroll on down, you can see the post Disney returns to its steamrolling self appeared first on the New York Times. But it wasn't just the New York Times. It was everywhere. It was all at once. And what does that mean? Well, it means, folks, that we got a pop and drop. What's a pop and drop? Well, let me show you what a pop and drop is. Here's the Disney stock. Take a look at this. When the earnings call began, we got a pop. Probably because people were reading the news. And then those poor people who were reading the news and saw those glowing headlines, well, they didn't have a good time if they bought on the pop, because it turns out that the actual results, 700,000 subscribers gone from Disney Plus at a time when they were giving it away almost for free. They gave Disney Plus away for $1 for Black Friday. And it went on for way past Black Friday. $1. And they lost 700,000 subscribers. Their Disney parks domestically went down 5% in revenue during the holidays. It's impossible. Like, I don't even know how you make that happen. That's how bad it was. So after the pop of the positive news coverage, people started actually looking at the real stuff and said, uh-oh. And then guess what? Disney had their worst day, at least one of their worst days, in the past 6 months. That's how bad it was. The legacy media, however, did everything they could to make this seem like you should be buying. Of course, we would never do that. We never give financial advice here. But again, Disney returns to its steamrolling self, says the New York Times. Yeah, not so much. In fact, if we look at the one day, there's the pop and there's the drop. And, well, aftermarket, not so well either. Okay, so panel. Turns out shareholders aren't listening. Mrs. Flew, can I start with you?
Of course you may.
Why might you imagine that shareholders would not be listening to the legacy media after the first few minutes?
Oh, well, after the day that tanked as it was, when you said that they were steamrolling their way, I think that it's just the wordplay that's happening and the way that the media has tried to control the narrative, because Disney has really been under the steamroller and getting flattened by all of the earnings and everything. I mean, Moana, what was it, $225 million that maybe it brought in, but didn't it cost, I don't know, 175 is maybe how much Moana 1 was. And it was just not enough to bring it over the edge. And did anyone even watch it? I didn't even see it.
Right. So what I would say here is, whatever you might think about the box office for 2024, 2025 is looking dire. You've got
What do we have?
Captain America, followed by Snow White, followed by Thunderdolts. Now, how's that for?
Wait, Thunder what?
Exactly. It's a Marvel thing that nobody knows what it is. So I'm seeing.
Did you say Thunderdolts like adults, but Thunderdolts?
Well, Thunderbolts is the real name. I make fun of it with what I say.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
Here's the deal. This is a company that no matter how much the legacy media tries to prop it up, people are catching on. So, Lauren, how's it going with Star Wars? You happy now with Star Wars? You think Star Wars and Marvel are doing A-OK and they're going to be big-time revenue drivers in the next few years?
The only thing to look forward to there is Andor Season 2. Everything else is garbage.
Why do you not sound excited about it? You know, how dare you? You come on this show and you say, Andor Season 2 is going to be great. But do you know how you say it? You came on here and said, the only thing to... You sound like Eeyore. The only
It does sound like Eeyore.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for Andor Season 2. I think it's going to be good. But it's the only thing they got. And it's so embarrassing at this point that it's like they just need to shut up. I just want them to shut up. Stop talking. Just
Lauren, you bought a Disney Plus subscription, right? I made you do that. It was against your will, but I made you do that so that you could review some of this trash. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
He thoroughly enjoyed watching Spider-Man today, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
He already told me about that.
Lauren, did you get in on this $1 deal? Did you get the $1 Black Friday deal where you paid $1 for 12 months, $12 for a full year of Disney Plus?
I have actually canceled my subscription a couple times. Originally, I subscribed when the channel launched. I don't remember what it was at that time. It was the Verizon deal that I think you had. I remember it was really cheap, and I carried that for a while. I think until Mando Season 1 ended. Then I canceled. Then I resubscribed when Season 2 came out. And I canceled, and then they announced that Gina was fired, and I swore that I was never going to subscribe to it ever again, and left really nasty comments on their cancellation screen.
That was you?
And then you...
And everyone else.
The worst.
Politely, strongly, sort of debased yourself by... You said you have to, Lord. You just have to.
The audience loves you. You have to torture yourself with this thing.
That's pretty much how it went. It got so bad, he threatened to actually send me the money to subscribe. And it's like,
I didn't want you to feel like you had sullied your soul by getting Disney Plus again. Lauren, based on what you're saying, you're not shocked that they lost 700,000 subscribers in the same quarter that they offered it essentially for free?
No, not at all. There's nothing there to be shocked about. The one thing I will say, Mrs. Flew was sort of prevaricating there. I hadn't really talked to her about Spider-Man. I will say in advance of our comments coming up, I still kind of like the show. It's about the only good thing that I've seen coming out of them. Skeleton Crew was fine. You know, it's not great, but it was fine. I'm kind of liking Spider-Man, and I can't quite put my finger on why. But it's not enough for me to... If I wasn't doing this for the channel, I wouldn't keep the subscription. That's the way I'd put it.
Well, and I think the vast majority of people must feel the same way. Let's see. Vashelina Jolie, you have.
Oh, that's so great.
What? That was.
How dare you?
Vash, you have something ready, I see.
Yes, absolutely. From Disney Plus perspective, I mean, 700,000 subscribers, losing that many, especially when they were giving the service away, not great. But again, I mean, that's a drop in the bucket when you compare just the amount of loss that the Disney parks have been accruing. Now, definitely good on the international front, definitely good on the cruise line front. But domestic parks, not so good. 5%. Due to hurricane impacts, I'm not quite sure about that. But no, that's domestic parks income, not even just revenue. So that is that's not a great sign right there. That's for sure. Now I was looking into the earnings report, and they were saying that attendance was down 2%, but revenue was up I believe 4%, if I'm not mistaken.
So
if I'm not mistaken.
All of this gets tricky, Vash, because they rolled consumer products into Disney parks and experiences
right
in the report. And I don't care what it's up to 9.4 billion. I care about the Disney parks domestically because they're 26% of all the revenue that Disney has. So if 26% of all your revenue went down 5%,
correct,
during the holidays, when we've never seen this happen before. We've never seen the Disney parks manage to have less revenue for Christmas and Hanukkah and Thanksgiving versus in the fall, like in September.
But remember what product they added in order to get more revenue. That was the Lightning Lane Premier Pass service right there, and I think that's kind of where they made it up there. If I had to speculate, they are attempting to match or exceed the revenue that they've had before on less guests. It only gets you so far. And we've seen multiple articles come out. We've seen multiple surveys actually presented that suggest that the value for Disney has gone away. And I think people are catching up to that. Also, too, we got from Hugh Johnston there, Epic Universe going to have a small impact now. So it went from rising tide lifts all boats. We're very excited for Universal success. But when they were directly asked about it, now they're saying, well, we might see something. In the form of negativity.
By the way, Vash, whenever, and I guess I say whenever, and what I mean by that is I've never seen or heard any company do this before. They did an earnings report today, and during the earnings call, they said that they're not going to talk about financials. Like, I've never heard a company do that before. Nolan, Kevin, have you guys ever heard of this? Like,
insane.
It's called creative accounting.
Nolan, they've adjusted now on Epic Universe. They say it no longer a rising tide lifts all boats, as Vash was saying. Now Disney says it's going to be it's going to have a little impact.
Can they actually do that though? I mean, I think they're legally required to have these quarterly disclosures, right? Can they do that and just say we're not going to talk about financials?
So they put out the financial document, and then when it came to the question time, they basically said we're not going to talk about the financials. And
so they're still publishing the information. They just don't want to talk about it.
Right.
I see.
Who could blame them, right? I mean, and that was the whole point, was the legacy media get there and carry the water. Nolan, carry some water for us. Epic Universe coming out. I have no doubt. Nice water. I have no doubt that you are excited for Epic Universe and what these other companies are doing beyond Disney. So is it any shock to you that this did not go well in spite of every effort made by the legacy media to save the House of Mouse?
It doesn't surprise me, but it would explain the philosophy, because I still do not understand why they're closing Muppet Vision within 2 weeks of Epic Universe opening. They're breaking up Tom Sawyer Island pretty close to the launch of the whole new theme park. It lines up with a philosophy, but that philosophy is just pure insanity. I don't care how many media outlets are just bowing to obscene amount of Benjamins in order to... Why am I getting Independence Day vibes from this?
I think that's what they were going for there.
First target, Tom Sawyer Island.
It looms, Nolan.
But no, it's perfect. No matter how many times they repeat it, it's not fact. It's just describing insanity, and they are going to dig their own grave, and Epic Universe is going to be the premier park. They can't compete with Mario, Harry Potter, all that, and then some. By the time they finally try to catch up with an attraction, Universal will come up with adding Zelda or Sonic. They're done. Stick a fork in them.
Nolan, talking about that Zelda thing, folks, Pro said it once, Pro's going to say it twice. Zelda's on the way. See you in a few months. All right, that is where we will wrap that one up. And Vash, we've got a bunch of super chats we need to knock out before we hit our review of your friendly neighborhood Speederman. Vash, let's get him up on the screen.
Absolutely. Butterbiscuit92 with $2 boycotting this show for ruining Captain Planet. He's our hero.
Gonna take pollution down to zero.
Oh, man. That was a very interesting show. They actually made environmentalism look look cool for a moment there. Mike D.
There was the poor kid who had the ring that was heart, right? And every episode was an effort to make you feel sorry for him, and then at the end, validate that he actually has some power that matters. And every kid knew it was untrue. Like, you've got wind, water, fire, and then you get art. Like, yay! She makes tornadoes. You can cast burning maelstroms. And I get the power of making people feel fuzzy about one another. Yay.
They were really stretching there with that one. They had an whole episode talking about his powers and how useless they were. Very funny.
I'm here with people with vast elemental abilities, and I'm a Care Bear. Great.
Which
Care Bear are you?
Well, what was that? What was the guy's name with heart? What was his name?
True Heart.
Let me go ahead and get the cast right
here. Whatever his name was, he should have been Grumpy.
Tenderheart.
Tenderheart.
Tenderheart was the heart bear.
Depression Bear.
Okay, we're gonna have to look this up here. Maybe the chat can help us actually, because through our powers combined, that's how we actually put on the book show.
Mati was the name. Thank you, Sir Cooner. Yeah, Mati.
Mati. There you go. What a show.
Use your power of heart. But it does
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Care Bear.
But it does nothing. I will not use it. We will all die.
Jeez.
Oh man, they got to relaunch that show. Mike D became a YouTube member at the potential level. Thank you so much for that. I think Tom F wanted to make sure that we got that, and we got that just for you. So thank you so much. Ken Reinhard with $2. As a kid, I read Nat Geo to keep abreast of the news.
Yeah, sure you did.
Well played. Well played.
That was a very great play on words.
Should have. You should have been in the Sears catalog again, right?
I think he probably had better luck with Geographic. It was more graphic.
Okay, Flying Blind Rocket Cycle with the $5. Abducted. We need to send out a search party for Wilton.
No, we don't.
Wilton will find his way back. Remember, he has tunnels.
Absolutely. To every show. Sutton Creek Productions with Canadian $5. I feel better now. Most of my videos get more than 600 views in a year.
Well, see, Sutton Creek, you're beating Disney. With all that vast U.S. government money, you still beat Disney.
Fantastic right there. Kamchi with the 199. I just want Japan being Japan. No good, Visa, and censored. So
yeah, well, we want Japan to be Japan too. Listen, I gotta get sushi, and the best sushi comes from Japan. I don't want to just boil all of Japanese culture down to one thing, but it is one of my favorite things. But yeah, we love Japan. Go Japan. Anybody
weird Japan?
Nolan, could you do that with more emphasis, please? We need more love of Japan.
Oh, okay.
More.
Keep it weird, Japan.
Yeah, I'm putting my Mati ring towards you and saying heart.
Keep it weird, Japan. We're counting on you.
See?
God bless your country.
That's the power of the ring.
And stop going with Visa for all your transactions there. They're just taking it down a notch. The artist formerly known as Dr. John Cucksack. All right, 199. Where is Jonas? USAID paid for Highlander 2.
Clip it and play it on Slade. For the next 5 years, Vash getting twisted and tied and actually saying it. John, you've won the day.
Well, I don't know. Look,
it's too late, Vash. Own it and go, man. Own it and go.
Oh, absolutely. Look, hey, if that's the name, then I have no choice right there. We have to make sure that your super chat is honored on the Pro Show right here. Andrew gifting 10 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you so much. I saw this go out there. Nolan giving a thank you right there. Thank you so much for that. That is awesome.
Andrew, your 10 Pro memberships are going to go towards a mop, soap, and a cleansing of the vulgarities here on the Pro Channel right now.
Now, the minute it looks like there's gonna be trouble, we got to nip it! Nip it in the...
Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Bash, we expect you to talk, though. You talk. You do you. You just keep talking and talking. Andrew, thank you for the pro memberships, even as our what would we say here? Our profane rating has dropped here.
All right, Detailed Devil with the 499. MacArthur Foundation 2017, $100 billion for Arab Sesame Street USA 2021 through 2027 adds $20 million. 27 million kids. Saw blows away Sayari. Muppet Theater closure feels more tragic.
Yeah, I mean, they're off putting. Kevin, what are you doing?
Sorry,
did you seriously?
having a moment.
Your camera, but not your mic, and sit back and go.
There's this little thing called
I
a
was
mute
trying
button.
to grab me a coughing fit and hit the wrong button.
We were worried about you. We were terrified of what was happening.
You sounded like you fell out of your chair.
The same thing happened to me last week. I feel for you, Kevin. I get it.
I'm never coming back on the show. I tried to handle it appropriately. They wouldn't let me. I hate this guy. That's what Kevin said.
Try doing that when you're puppeting. It's so much fun.
Detailed Devil. Yes, they're all over the world opening up these crazy puppet things. Meanwhile, Disney World is the Doc Hopper of the day, trying to close down Jim Henson's final great work. Terrible.
Absolutely. Not good at all. Chef Eddie, member for 3 months. Disney stop drop looks like a red wave.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is all like, no, what's going on with my stock? No, nothing.
It's great. We need a sequel to that for sure. Real life fake wizard, the 199. I heard Lauren wants Acolyte too. I didn't know.
You went full retard, man.
Lauren, I played that, so you might not have to respond, but I give you the moment.
No, I think that pretty well sums it up. I'd get in trouble if I said it, but Robert Downey Jr. can say whatever he wants.
Listen, he's a Kamala voter, okay? He's good. But a real life fake wizard, we're going to get you on the panel soon. I've told Jonas, maybe next week we'll reach out and try to get you on. Folks, if you've not yet watched Real Life Fake Wizard, fantastic content over there. Love it. Only problem is he looks basically exactly like Culture Casino. So, I don't know. Can't have them both on the same thing or else. Well, I don't know. Maybe they could be on the same screen. We'll put one on the left, one on the right. We'll have 3D.
Makes a really good hobo Gandalf.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Fantastic. Don the Blue with a 499. Make Spider-Man spectacular again.
Maybe they did. We'll find out.
Maybe. That's a good thing there. Gilliam the second with $5. I heard it was Hurricane Iger that caused the 5% drop. Yeah. Gotta invest in your parks, Iger. Gotta invest.
He's definitely raining on the parade of the Disney parks.
I wonder if there's a way to get that name kind of in on next year's list.
we definitely should. We'll call the whatever the department is.
National Weather Service.
National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center, whatever it is. Big storm guys. We're gonna tell them Hurricane Iger. Put Iger for the I. And then when they make one and it's Hurricane Igor, we can all be like, darn it, we tried.
Dang. Aldo's Journal with 499. In 50 years, will Disney be just a cautionary tale? Will they succeed in making Walt the unnameable? Or will our efforts to save the magic be simply in vain?
Well, that has yet to be written. I think in 5 years we'll start to know the answer. After Iger leaves, new leadership's going to come in. Will it be more in line with making money again, or will it be ideological? That's what we got to find out. It's going to take us about 5 years to get a handle on it. I wish I could give you a straight answer, but I can't yet.
Yes, absolutely. There's so much of a hill to climb to get out of this. This is why the steamrolling comments and stuff in the New York Times. That's really something. They're looking at this from a quite different perspective. Neo gifting 1 WDW Pro memberships. Thank you so much. And Samuel Main gifting 1 WDW Pro memberships as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So kind. Appreciated greatly.
Absolutely. And Kamchi with another 199. You think President will help Japan with visa issues?
Listen, as fast as Trump is going, he might have already done it, and we just don't know it yet.
That's a good point right there. And
I hope so. We love Japan.
He's been receptive to Japan as well, and looking to improve relations there. So, who knows? But
Nolan, say you love Japan and do it.
Japan, keep it weird. Keep it weird.
Arigato. All right, let's see here. Butterbrisket92 with $10. We're the Planeteers. You can be one too, because saving our planet is the thing to do. Loot.
Nope. Sing it, Vash.
I see. Okay, here we go. We're the Planeteers. You can be one too, because saving our planet is the thing to do. Looting and polluting is not the way. Here's what Captain Planet has to say. The planet is yours. There you go. How about that?
That was beautiful. That was good.
Oh, thank you.
Marvelous, darling. Simply marvelous.
He settled upon you.
Well, I do appreciate that. I could probably do better later. But hey, you know what? It's a little bit late.
Practice up. I'll get an orchestra next week. Pro show. Here we go.
Oh, I like that. Andrew with $10. Keep up the humor. Free the tubes of idiotic silencing.
Oh, don't worry. We'll free the old tubes. No doubt about it.
Indeed. And that just about
one thing we know how to do here on this channel is freeing the tubes.
Indeed. That just about wraps us up, Pro. I return your show to you, good sir.
Well, we're with the tubes freed. We're all wrapped up and ready to go for Spider-Man. All right, panel. We've seen the latest episodes, 3 of them, and I'm just going to start us off by saying this, folks. Last time we were on this live stream, we played Free Domain, the intro. That was it. Didn't play music. They busted our chops on it. So we're not going to do that. You don't get to see Spider-Man swinging through on a loop every 30 seconds. Sorry, Disney, we're not going to promote you. But these new episodes, I like them better. I like them much better than the start off. And I could have spent more time with the little brother I guess Lincoln is his name, because we needed to get to know that. So it was more of an emotional hit when Lincoln does what he does to try to save his little brother. Thought it was good. I thought that the Osborn stuff where he's kind of weirdly taking over, helping Peter, I thought it was good. I thought it was on the right tone. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. I actually thought these episodes were pretty darn good, with one exception. I hate these facial animations. These sometimes, like Lincoln's girlfriend and Aunt May. Or Aunt May. I don't, whichever way you want to go, folks. Route, I don't care. Potato. But they look like Cabbage Patch dolls from certain angles. It's off-putting.
I think some of that may be deliberate. You're seeing some of the villain characters in this episode. They're deliberately mimicking Jack Kirby's artwork. And Jack was famous for having pretty ugly faces, and I think that they're trying to mimic the style. So I think that's where that's coming from.
Mission accomplished. They're ugly. They're ugly, and Aunt May weirds me out every time she's on screen. I don't know what's going on there, but okay, that looks good. Good job, Vash. All right, Lauren, we'll come back to you. Let me do a follow-up. I thought these episodes were way better, and that's not usual. Usually Disney Plus puts out a show, the first 2 episodes are good, then you get a bunch of filler, and then you get a finale that's like, who cares? This one, we actually got better. So did you think the same, or was I off on it?
Yeah, I actually agree. Kevin dropped in our back channels that there were 3 episodes that dropped today, and I kind of rolled my eyes. I was leaving work. It's like, I don't want to watch 3 episodes of this. I liked last week's episodes, but I was anticipating, kind of like you. I knew I was generous with my score last week, and so I was anticipating a big drop for these. I just knew it was going to rub me the wrong way. And to my surprise, it didn't. I actually had fun. I like the way they're introducing some of these characters. So far, I can't point out any character that I don't like. I'm having fun. And if it continues in this kind of vein, I'd be happy to watch more. And that really surprised me. It's some of the only content that I think that I've seen recently. Like I said, Skeleton Crew was fine, but it was just fine. This, I kind of like. so far. I'm really hoping they don't screw it up. I don't want it to devolve into what we're used to seeing from them. If they keep up this quality, I'm happy to keep watching.
All right, Nolan, are we wrong? Did they get better? And tell me, Nolan, give me 3 things you liked and 3 things you didn't from these episodes.
Okay. I think it's definitely an improvement from what we had before. And honestly, my only really major gripe with this is just the character swapping. Even if you're going to race swap certain characters, like Harry Osborn, they show some of the concept art during the credits. They had some nerdier designs for Harry, which I think look a little closer to the comics. Some of the designs are very questionable. The Connors character, she should have just been a great new character, kept the same race and everything. It should have never been related to Dr. Connors. That's actually been my only major gripe with the show, is some of the design choices, because you get rid of that stuff. Like, it's just your normal Spider-Man cartoon. There's the high school drama. There's the stuff with going on with the inner gang wars. There's a lot of, there's actually some unexpected twists and, original ideas they come up with. And I actually, surprisingly, if you're talking about stuff I kind of like how they were sort of trying to connect this to the MCU. As someone who tends these days, anytime you try to connect something to the MCU, it's kind of starting to become dead to me, because that whole genre itself has a major problem of where it's going. But I gotta say, I like seeing the smaller scale type stuff of how the actions of these major characters we've seen is impacting the smaller side of things, without it feeling like a smaller story, because the whole world of Spider-Man is just so rich and intriguing, so much character. I am actually pretty surprised that they managed to take a character who, correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't know if he ever was in the comics, but this Lincoln character, his whole wrap up with the basically the mafia and the gangs and all that, I think that's actually a creative idea. You get to see a lot of different dynamics of, morality, trying to protect family, different backgrounds, and trying to do the right thing. I don't like the sappy, okay, the moment he shakes hands with the mob boss, he's wrapped into this. Now he's in agreement. We got to go through this for a few episodes. I felt like that's kind of a rom-com type trope where it's like the misunderstanding, or he's hiding this and you're beating around the bush for the next few episodes just to get to the point. But I do gotta say, I think once you get into the story itself, it's actually really fascinating. What's going on with the gang wars? How would an innocent person react in these situations? And they're actually threading the needle very well on balancing Spider-Man to the equation. It doesn't feel like a sidetrack. They're mirroring his fights with Spider-Man's own against the supervillains. I love the Spider-Man Harry Osborn dynamic. It's about time we actually got to see these two being friends in something, God forbid, because in the Raimi movies, he was trying to kill him. In the 90s cartoon, he seemed like most of the time he hated him or had amnesia or something like that. It's cool to actually see these characters getting close. And I think the thing that's really making this intriguing to me and not just forgettable schlock is the whole Peter Parker, Norman Osborn dynamic. That's kind of a new idea. Getting to see his greatest villain meet him at such a young age and wanting to spread his, own sort of wisdom, so to speak. I'm sure he's going to end up a villain by the end of this. Like, he's testing out the Spider-Man suits for him, and I'm sure he's going to use it to make his own super weapons, but it's original ideas. And I think aside from modifying characters a little too strong in certain places, I think it's a fun show. Every episode continues on, but stands alone without feeling like a long 8-episode slog. And it's actually a show for once that actually has a catchy theme song, even if it's a variant. So yeah, I gotta say, I think the show overall, it's all right. I think there's stuff to like. I'm not completely sold on it being great, but I think, I thought it was okay, and I'm fine with seeing more.
Kevin, I like Lincoln better than Peter Parker, I think, at this point. And it's kind of it's a little bit strange in that regard. Although I did not buy Lincoln's immediate family. Like, I didn't buy any of that stuff when they find out that that his little brother's, doing things he shouldn't be doing. Like, I didn't buy any of that. But then I kind of did buy the whole the Lincoln deal, watching out for his brother. I just wish we had more time finding out about those two before we were like thrust into, oh, he's got a brother, and oh, the brother's doing bad stuff, and oh, he's going to make a sacrifice for the brother. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think we needed just a little extra time with the family to get a feel for the full dynamic. Because we spent a lot of time with Lincoln in the last 2 episodes, and then we immediately jump into the younger brother is with a group of bad guys, and it just seemed a little too rushed, which is weird because they've done a pretty good job of pacing out the show. Actually, I will give them credit. The Spider-Man scenes were a lot better than the first 2 episodes. Yeah, it actually felt like it was driving the plot, for the last 3 episodes. It just the pacing was a lot better in general. That was really the only real misstep that I saw. And if you're a comic book fan, you know that Lincoln's really Tombstone. So like you're just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, and see this how are they going to get to the villainous turn. I don't really have too many complaints. I mean, I'm enjoying the running parallel to the MCU, like the what is it called? The Corvia Accords are still happening. The only thing different is this Peter's life. Norman Osborn saw the video before Tony Stark did. That's really what it comes down to. And so we're getting to see just his life play out a little differently while still.
Are we going full Green Goblin?
Yeah, I think so. I think that not to drown everybody in really long comic book lore, but Norman always wanted to be a gangster. That was his. He was trying to control the mob long before he became a supervillain. That was his big play. And when he became the Green Goblin, it was more about having the technology to control the mob.
You're being accosted from behind. Are you okay, sir?
Yeah, yeah. I accidentally let her in when I had to go not be dying on the air before.
It happens. It happens. This is how your villain story begins. This is like what did you say that the Lincoln's going to turn into?
He turns into the villain Tombstone.
Well, now, does Tombstone have to be a bad guy in this multiverse? Maybe that's the twisterooski we get on this thing.
That's true. So I'm glad we got Doc Ock, and I do agree with Lauren. I'm kind of really into the Kirby style art, of the Kirby Ditko blend. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The show has a nice, it's different. It has a neat vibe about it. Again, it was a little jarring the first couple episodes. I feel like the memo to knock off a lot of the nonsense probably didn't come down until they hit the 3rd episode, because I was ready. I was ready to be like, okay, what are you going to smack me with this week? And there was really nothing that I could complain about, other than little tiny stuff. But again, yeah, like I said last week, my concern was that a lot of the stuff was very subversive. It wasn't in your face. It was just below the surface, but there. And again, very, very toxic. But I didn't really have a lot of that. I thought all 3 episodes were very enjoyable. I liked a lot of the nods to, other comic book stories with the changing costumes. And like if you're a comic book nerd, you had a blast. And I'm just interested to kind of see where they're going to go with the story.
What's the cat's name, Kevin?
Now, the cat is named Siren.
Okay,
very apropos.
Let's all
how appropriate.
That's perfect. Did Siren watch Spider-Man with you?
No, she did not. She was down here knocking over my Enterprise E.
Siren? Oh, Siren, girl, come on. You're killing us now. You're supposed to help
Maybe
Kevin.
that's why she's so vocal, because she... Yeah, maybe she really wanted to, and she was sad that she was locked down in the basement.
No permanent damage. I just can't get my captain's yacht to stay on this red thing. Very annoying.
Siren, we're going to have a talk later with Siren. Vash, it's your turn. Vash, tell us about your thoughts on Spider-Man. Do you agree with us, or are you going to be the counter voice to this and say, no, there were major mistakes made. I can't stand Lincoln's little brother, and the blue-haired girl is still blue lipsticking all over the place.
that's kind of the unfortunate thing about this show is that actually it's kind of hitting its stride at this point, but it is weighed down a little bit by the foundation that was built in those first couple of episodes. I think if they would have ironed those things out, I mean, honestly, this is a pretty strong show right here. I was actually very impressed with these episodes. I was very impressed with the character dynamics and so forth, and how they set up these characters, how they set up their storylines. I felt kind of invested in the story of Peter Parker and obviously his relationship with Norman Osborn, and also too Lincoln's story, very compelling as well. So, like, I think they're really doing something that is that has surprised me. Now it still has a few issues, like we were saying before, with some of the premises laid down there in the first two episodes. Also, too, the animation style not quite the best. Can't get into it, but hey, when the battle scene pops up, actually hits its stride pretty well. There's some amazing shots in there that are like, ooh, that's pretty dynamic. That was tough to do, and that was difficult to portray on screen.
Are you talking about him fighting the two villains who have the little superpowered legs and arms, or a different one?
Oh yeah. We see a little bit of this with the first encounter with Doctor Strange. But yeah, the specifically those two villains there with the augmented gloves and feet, legs and everything like that. There's some shots in there that are they would have been pretty difficult a couple of years ago to actually achieve for a show of this caliber right here. So I was actually pretty impressed by that. I think Peter Parker, I think I still like his character a lot, but Lincoln's definitely growing on me, that's for sure. I don't know. I found myself enjoying what I was watching, and I really can't say that for much Disney Plus content. That's pretty remarkable. So they definitely achieved something here.
We keep it real. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. If everything that Disney puts out, we just slam it every single time, nobody's going to believe us. So you got to be real with the people. You got to say, is it bad? Is it good? All right, let's go around the horn. We're going to start with Nolan. Now, by the way, folks, we're not being rude to Mrs. Flew. Mrs. Flew did not have a chance to see Spider-Man, and Mrs. Flew has seen the movies, though, so she's very happy to stay with that joy. Mrs. Flew, have you seen all the Spider-Man movies? Did you see the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield and all of them?
All of them, yes.
All of them, everyone. And they're all true. It's all true, all of it. All right, let's go around the horn. Nolan, we'll start with you. We're going to get a review score for these middle episodes. Then I think we'll be close to the end coming up real soon. Nolan, middle episodes, what say you? Scale of 0 to 10.
I'm going to give these a 7. It's definitely a lot more on the positive this week. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome, but the longer I spend time with these characters, the more I kind of like them. It still bugs me, some of the creative choices, I still really frustrates me that they made, Dr. Connors basically a completely different character from what he was in the comics. Even with them, race and gender swapping, she doesn't act anything like him. I wish this was just a brand new character we could just truly enjoy in the show. So things like that hold it back. But like I said, when I was talking about the positives, there's actually a lot of fun to be had with the show. It's got some energy. The whole show is not just a find the MacGuffin, whatever have you. So I'm going to go with a 7. I think it's getting solid. And I really, really hope it keeps the momentum up to where I hope by the end of it, I become a fan, because I was a loyal, spectacular Spider-Man fan back in the day. So I hope it really rebounds from where it started.
Well said. Lauren, it's up to you.
I'm going to give it a 7 too. I gave last week's a 7, and that was sort of being generous, but I didn't hate it, and so I was giving it a little bit of rope, and I fully expected that I was going to hang it this week. This time, I think the 7 is genuine, and I'm hoping that it continues along this track. I would not be upset if we got a good Spider-Man show. I know there's some folks in the comments that don't like it, but so far it's working for me, and that's not at all what I expected. I thought that I was going to hate this thing, but I'm having a good time.
Lauren, it's been said at least 17 times on this show about you. You keep it for Rizzle. You keep it for Rizzle. Kevin, how many meows out of 10 do you give this one?
You know, I kind of want to give it an 8. I had a lot of fun with the 3 episodes. Because I've been able to compartmentalize and go, hey, it's its own thing.
Don't sound like you feel sorry about it, man. Nobody's going to mess with you. Have you looked at your muscles lately? You're okay. They're not.
Own it.
Yeah. Now, me and Lauren, we might have to be a little bit worried about what we do, but you don't have to be worried about it. You stand brave, shoulders back. 8 out of 10. I'm not afraid of doing that. Kevin, you staying with it? 8 out of 10. You feel good
with it?
Okay. I don't want anybody to pressure you. Don't be mean to my buddy Kevin. Vash, coming to you. Will you be brave? Will you be bold? What will you score Spider-Man?
I think it's a solid 7. There are things that hold it back for sure, but definitely improvement on the first week's couple of episodes, that's for sure. And it definitely has piqued my interest, which is great. I watch a lot of anime. I do. So I reserve those top tier, numbers like 8, 9s, 10s for stuff that's definitely befitting of those things. But having watched so much anime, I've definitely become familiar with more animated works, and I think this is a solid piece of Western media. Could it be much better if they were to remove some of this stuff? Absolutely, and I would fully give it the full recommendation if they had. But as Nolan said, and as Lauren's brought up, and you, Kevin, as well, there's just some things holding it back. It just has a little bit more of that progressive Western influence that I would have liked to have seen. But I gotta be honest, it's up there. It is up there.
All right, I'm giving it a 6. I'm going to be the curmudgeon of the day, and the reason I'm going to give it a 6 is this reason and this reason alone. If I wasn't having to review it, it wasn't painful. I didn't hate it, but I wouldn't keep watching it. And for me, that's why I got to put it as 6. It's not that I listen, it was fine. But if you said to me, hey, Pro, we're not going to do the show next week, will you watch Spider-Man? I'd be like, maybe if it's on, but I'm not going to take time out of my day to watch it. That's where we are, and that's why I'm going to put it at a 6 instead of a 7. And but again, it was fine, and it could get better, and maybe that's giving me some hope, So we'll see. But I remember back to the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s, and when I compared against that, maybe it's just nostalgia speaking to me, but boy, oh boy, I enjoyed it. All right, that means, folks, we're giving the middle episodes a very good 7 out of 10 for the middle episodes, and we will be back again next week to review the next set of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. We shall see how it goes. Vash, one thing I know, though, is that Super Chats are here and needed. Let's put them on the screen.
I got to go before we do that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to bail, but I'll see you all next week.
Lauren, we told you from 4 hours minimum. How dare you? Get out of here. We love you, Lauren. Get out of here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Love you.
Take care. See you all.
I'm realizing that Lauren in the back has been screaming at me, hey, I gotta go. And I was too busy and didn't. Lauren, my bad, buddy.
All right. See you.
Later. Thank you, sir.
All right, man. Super Chats.
Super Chats indeed. Kamchi with another 199. You think we should ask President to deal with the censorship, I believe. Hey, look, listen. I mean, he's been open about, what's your grievance right there? What is affecting the country? What are affecting our relations with other countries? I don't know. Try.
He's about the most anti-censorship president I've ever seen, so.
Yeah.
Whether you like him or not.
Whether you like him or not, that's for sure. JRG Project with the $5. Vacation Rock Radio. Now we are talking. Bring back Thousands era punk rock. Some of the best bands were complete unknowns.
I cannot wait to debut the rock station. It's coming, folks. We got to get Vacation Radio monetized first, but it's coming, and it is fantastic. I think you're going to love it. Really and truly, it's really good music.
Fantastic. Can't wait to hear it on my end. Kamchi with another 199. Guys, are you feeling okay? Have your minds Are they feeling okay? I think it's in response to our praise, actually, of your favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I can tell you, I'm okay. Is everybody else okay? We're good.
Okay.
I'm a happy fella.
Okay. All right.
I'll say this because I love the '90s Spider-Man cartoon.
I'm
However,
with you.
we do have to remember that the neogenic nightmare happened, and that everything that came after it just got progressively worse. So all this show has to do is be better than everything that came after the neogenic nightmare, and they won. And that's not a very high bar to cross.
Kevin, all this show needs to do to be better than the 90s show is actually have an ending this time. Please. You don't know how many times I watched those reruns just praying as a little kid, like, please tell me they have a last episode where he saves Mary Jane. No. Instead, we got to see the Stan Lee cameo.
By the way, we had the comment about the rock station. Folks, I wasn't planning to do this. I just can't wait for you to hear it. We'll play one track debuting on the rock station when it releases. We've not played any of this for anybody before, but you all are dedicated. It is 12:11 a.m. on the East Coast, still with over 1,000 of you watching on X and YouTube. So we'll play one of the new songs coming out on the rock station at the end of the Super Chats.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to hear it.
Nice.
That's going to be fantastic. Thank you so much. Pro John S. with $2. Somebody's cat needs a snack. Kevin, did we get the cat a snack?
Oh yeah, I gave her a bunch of treats and locked her out.
The cats are everywhere. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Camchi with another $1.99. Have watching too many bad shows broke you. Get a hold of yourself. Oh,
Please
man.
help.
When I was watching The Acolyte, that was tough. That was a brutal time period. That was rough.
You've caught us. We're suffering greatly.
We need rest. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
Oh my!
Indeed.
I have not seen that.
We've got the clips, folks. We got the clips. Camchi with another $1.99. Oh no, they finally broke. They watched too many bad shows. Yes,
that's right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Camchi, for all of your donations tonight. Pokemon Gold, 1991, $4.99. Hi, WDW Pro. The reason why Disney got rid of the Magical Express buses is because the Brightline train Mickey Views talks about it in a video of his. Yeah, I mean, that is a way of getting rid of a service. That way you don't have to pay for it, and you have this Brightline train coming to you. The problem is, though, is that the Brightline station that they were supposed to get, well, they're not getting it. Universal's getting that. So, I'll never really quite understand that whole dynamic. I understand it from a spreadsheets perspective. I understand it from a bean counter's perspective, but not really from a guest satisfaction perspective, I suppose.
That's right. We love Mickey Views, by the way. Fantastic content from Mickey Views. Go check out that channel as well, and tell Braden Pro sent you.
Braden is awesome, and I had similar thoughts, actually, when they announced the ending of Magical Express. John S., with $5. I was in my 20s for those awesome X-Men cartoons in the 90s. Man, I miss those days. Everything since has been kind of meh at best.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you call them meh?
You egg-sucking piece of gutter trash.
Not nearly as good. 90s television. We might have peaked there. We might have peaked. John S. with the $5. All I wanted was a Pepsi, and she wouldn't give it to me. Dang. Should have probably asked for a Pepsi free. I think that's the line from Back to the Future.
Or Pepsi.
All right, here we go. SFX Sabretooth Raptor with the $5. Mexican Iron Man would take the Galactic Star Cruiser and place all of the Alf merch in there. Out of sight, out of mind. Then he would send it to Mars.
True, he would. And we love Mike, and it was great being on with Mike again during the Valiant Renegade show this morning. All right, folks, we want you to subscribe to Nolan Thunder as well as Floral from Under Rock to find more Mrs. Flu. Get on over there to Tooneytown Wrestling for Kevin Apollo, and, of course, That Park Place and That Pod Place for Vash. As promised, here is the world debut for a song from the rock station coming out. I know the name of it, and I keep almost saying the name of the channel, but we haven't announced it yet, so can't do that yet. Here is the song. It's called Never Sounds Cool. Here we go.
Community college, work for free. Genocide because state believe, protest climate change. Crypto whales, do it all from there on for emails. You do what you wanna, you can make it big. For a month, part-time selling spiritual gigs. Life will last forever, so never sound cool. They want you to do the things that say they do, but time makes short, so get a clue. Life will last forever, so never sound cool. Say sayonara to the plan, break up the volume, join up band and say never, or never. If it don't have to forever, or never, forever. It's sounding cool. One day maybe I'll afford an extra bedroom. Middle management in a fluorescent cubicle do. If that I'll never see. Wife secretly hates me, so they coffee and obsessed living. Ain't that living? And grab babes can help pick jello out of my teeth.
All right, folks, that's one of the songs coming out on Vacation Radio. Never Sound Cool. I tried to pick one that was of the variety that was requested out there in the chat. We've got all kinds of rock songs, about 70 plus, I think, for the debut. I'd have to go back and look and see. Miss Flu, you were just about in time, Miss Flu. Hold on, here we go. Let me get it back.
So never sound cool. Say sayonara to the plan. Break up the volume, join up and say never, oh never. If it don't have to forever, oh never. It's sounding cool. Never.
Thank you, Mrs. Flu. You jumped in there at the right time, and we just had to get the music back up and going. All right, folks, that's going to be it for us. We are wrapping this up. We want to thank all of our panelists for being here. Also, we want to thank all of you. And it was a real joy to, of course, get to cover that exclusive. We were not planning on it, of course. The investigation happened on that Park Place. We managed to get out, and hope you enjoyed it. All right, folks, we will see you real soon. We hope
Hang
you
on, bro.
it.
Hang on, we can't miss a super chat. Just can't do it. John S. with the $5. Guys, you were talking about alternative music. Did you not get the reference, or did my comment stink?
I believe this is a reference to institutionalized by, for YouTube here, self-deletion tendencies. Am I correct, John S?
John S., let us know. Sounds like Nolan is struggling with the semantic gymnastics of how to say that on YouTube. But hope we get that right. Folks, we hope you're doing all right. Have a fantastic one. Get out there tomorrow. Make the world a better place. We would love for you to go out there and trace the best ways to be. Until the next time, we send you out the way you know. Here we go. The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So, folks, as we always say as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.